Who is them niggas?
Yeah, who is them niggas?
Now, you remember I told you NLIL kids, they look like us, but them niggas black as hell.
Hell yeah.
Now, you wonder how they get that black when NLIL is beige.
Exactly.
That's just one of his incarnation, one of his avatar forms. He can change his pigment. He is shapeshifter.
Yeah, yeah. I know they got a certain type of brain tech
right.
power.
But they don't really change their shape. They do subtle things to make you not be able to recognize who they is. Really, what the shapeshifter is somebody that can use multiple avatars.
Exactly.
So when you're looking at Albert Pike, you're seeing George Washington. When you're looking at George Washington, you see a motherfucking Adam Weishaupt. It's all the same motherfucker in his alternate forms. That's why only one of them have an actual photograph. But anyway, he about to get the 3rd degree. Somebody about to put him on the hot seat. When he get done, his jacket gonna be open, his cow toe gonna be exposed, right? And he ain't gonna have on no shirt. Go back to the Masonic picture again. They finished strip him of all his rank. That's all he's telling you.
These are NLIL people.
Well, the pale skin is not necessarily NLIL people, but they NLIL creation. They used our DNA to make them, but they also use sulfur and mitochondrial from the Tigris and the Euphrates in order to conceal what they was doing. You know, the Jews call us Goyim, right? Goyim is almost the same as Gulam.
Yeah, heathens, or barbarians, or savages.
Or simply somebody that's not one of them.
Yep, pretty much.
They believe, according to the protocols, that anybody that's not one of them is only good to serve them. Goyim is like calling you cattle. Gulam is calling you a mindless drone of a human being. Okay, let's go back to the book so we give them some more references to look at.
Hey, you say on this picture right here though, before we go to the next one, you said that this picture is these guys are NLIL children and they stripping him of his rank. So they take it back to throne.
No. I didn't say they was doing shit. They might lose their rank too.
Oh shit.
Them niggas might not even be from Earth.
Right.
That's why I asked the open-ended question, who is them niggas?
Yeah, who is these niggas?
All right. So as long as we don't know who they is, it's a question there. Because they can be another one of the brothers, because you know Inky and NLIL had other brothers.
Yeah.
And they could have been another one of the brothers offspring come down here to get Inky kids without NLIL kids harassing them. NLIL kids is pissed right now. The ones that gotta leave. The ones that's born to earth-born women, they decided they call them loyalists. Right? Because they don't want, if they go to Nibiru, they're gonna be the same as fried chicken. Ain't gonna be no difference. They eat humans. They farm us on varying different planets. They just never expected for Animal Farm to be an actuality and the animals take over the farm, but some kind of way the pigs got in the way. And the pigs is them greedy motherfuckers. So while we was in our Conjure War, the Prescott family, one of the shielding families for NLIL's children, went into business for themselves, and they are the ones that tried to take it over on their own. That's what George Herbert Walker Bush was up to. 1,000 points to light ass motherfucker. Right? And he had intelligence connections around the world, as in he got the dirt on every major leader in the world. Right? So he can use blackmail to make most of them do what he wants. You got to remember, they're the ones who put Saddam Hussein in power to begin with, the Bush family. Right? And the Bush family was behind Iran-Contra that exposed America's double cross of Iraq in the Middle East, which made Saddam not do no more business with America. And he tried to get the Arab Union, the Arab League, after the United Arab League or some shit like that, where all the Arab nations, he tried to get them all to stop selling oil to America. And That's what made Bush and them go at his head.
Hmm.
They went into Farrakhan did a whole video on why they went into Afghanistan, because they wanted to run that pipeline from Uzbekistan through Afghanistan, through Iraq, into the Persian Gulf to pump the oil out.
Mm-hmm.
Don't that sound familiar?
Yeah.
You remember how the father died off on Good Times? Remember where he was working?
Go ahead.
In Good Times, James Evans went to go work to build the pipeline in Alaska.
Oh yeah, now I remember that. Go ahead.
And when he was gone, that's when he died. He died working on the pipeline to Alaska. Right now, in real life, thousands of people died building that pipeline. We don't talk about it because it's all in the name of oil.
One of their gods.
Yep. So, where else do we hear this pipeline story popping up at? Remember the native land when they displaced the natives to run the pipeline, and the natives was protesting? This was like 2.5 years ago. They was trying to run a pipeline through their own tribal land after they'd already been told to stop doing that dumbass shit. And the indigenous border, the $5 Indians who was left to take care of that part of the land know not to let them run that motherfucker through there silently. All they got to do is just sound the alarm. We're going to clean this shit up in the end. But every time these motherfuckers do some dirt, make that shit known to the public. So then now that...
Camouflage. And the best camouflage to infiltrate the people is to raise one up that look like them, that ain't them. Right? So when you read about in the history books that these Moors was marrying these slaves and having children by them, and they was teaching them to take allegiance to them. And that's why they forbade the mother line and only honor the father line. Because when you father the child by somebody, if you erase their mother line, there's no matriarchal connection. Therefore, they will never identify themselves as a matriarchal people. That's exactly why they created the races. A race has a beginning and an end, right? A race has a beginning and an end. Well, let me tell you, this is the end of all of the races. Because you're either human or you something else. And everything that look human, not human. Right? Everything that looks kinfolk ain't kinfolk. And everything that don't look kinfolk ain't always your enemy either. But it's some motherfuckers with the pink skin, just like it's some motherfuckers with the dark skin, can all get the same guillotine the same. Because they are classified collectively as the devil, the enemy. But the ones who are in the position of right, these what you call blood rights, blood ties to the land. What do they mean by blood ties to the land? That means that you organic to where you grew from. Your spirit was going to come back in whatever fucking body was on this bitch, suitable to facilitate your vibration so you can fix it. So the war came to us in 1492. So you see the banner that say 500 years of native resistance, 500 years of indigenous warfare, right? Now, this could have been over many times, but people like me was always killed on the ground, so they could never exercise the birthright, right? That's why our children in our communities die at an earlier age, right? All of these things also does something as a side effect. See, we don't ever look at the side effect. We always look at the direct effect. Sometimes the side effect tells you the importance of the direct effect, of it allowing it to take place. The side effect of oppression is teenage pregnancy. Women, girls becoming pubescent at earlier and earlier ages. if girls come into puberty earlier, they have a more likelihood of producing children earlier. If they produce children earlier, that means that it's going to engage more of the elder women, because it got to be a condition where the men is minimized. These elder women in turn begin to teach the children how to resist based on the premises of the government they under. It don't matter what system they create. The law of nature will always adapt to that system to make it conform to the laws of nature when the right person is raised. Right? So now we are remolding this reality back to the laws of nature to override the laws of man. And these laws was the laws that governed the game and kept us in the subservient position. Right? So it's a set number of personalities any culture can produce, because the law of nature has a wired in hierarchy or caste system, right? This is how the idea of royalty ever came into place. Alpha lines is what they call. The alpha line is the line that consistently produce the best candidate to resolve whatever it is. Every time, consistently. No matter what the problem is, this bloodline is going to adapt to find the solution by producing an offspring wired with the solution in him. Right. It's like Skywalker Ash was just saying white in other countries means status or class in society. That is correct. And one of the ways when we've discovered how it was being used was, there's an Egyptian guy who came over here and they told him that he was white, right? And he didn't understand how he was being separated from us by him being called white and us being called black, which created a big uproar in the Middle East coming out of Egypt. But that's a whole nother story. The DNA test, if it's not a parental test, it's for entertainment purposes only. When you look in the fine print, it say this is for entertainment purposes only. I've seen a couple of them that said that. What that means is this: whatever narrative is required to steer the entertainment in the direction that the producer wants it to go, basically tell the story, he can control it. So they are notoriously not possible, first of all, to take your blood over here and say you related to somebody 1,000 miles away without having a sample of their blood as a control. And the way they doing it is they just telling people, send us your blood and we'll tell you your DNA, right? You might have found family with it, but that's an exception to the rule because they tell you it's for entertainment purposes, right? So what they will do is they will allow you to find some family because they got some testimonial to the validity of their bullshit. No contracts. All contracts are slave contracts. They all got some shit in there. The fact that you making the contract automatically puts you in the creditor-debtor scenario. Baby Hoove. I think I gave them a pretty good understanding of this game called life and how it's being played. So, what's going on, God buddy?
What's up, man?
You got it, you got it. Where you calling from?
New Orleans.
From the NO. That's what's up. What brings you in today? What's your name?
Gary. My name is Rip.
Did you say Rip?
Rip.
R-I-F?
R-I-P.
Okay. Hey, look, that's what we used to call my nephew. Yeah. So what you want to talk about today?
Whatever, bro. It's all on you, man. I'm trying to hear your knowledge.
You got any questions? You got anything you want to know about specifically?
Rules of the universe, karma,
I've been already talking about that. That's what most of the video about.
karma.
Yeah, all that's part of the game.
Preach on it to me.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take somebody else if they got some questions. You keep watching, and maybe we touch on some more, get some more detail about that with some of these other questions.
Thanks.
All right, fam.
All right. Hold up.
Them 777s up in here. Born with 3 7s in my head. What's going on, God?
Peace, God. How you doing? Appreciate
Good. Loving them dreads, boy.
it. I mean, appreciate it. Now, hey, I cut it before because it was a spell casted on me. Back when my lost self, I didn't really know who I was. But yo, about this game. So you said the Europe black nobility conquistadors. Like when you so how did they even like start and like can you just elaborate a little bit more on that? And I just want to know about the voodoo
Wait.
game.
Well, slow down. You say, how did they start? Start what?
Like with the infiltrate, like how did they infiltrate us? Like I
Okay,
know they
so
like us and shit. Like, go ahead.
okay, so when we go back to what our ancestors were saying, they was making agreements with us. They was marrying into our clans, right? But the whole time they had the intent to sell us out.
All right.
Right? That was their goal from the beginning. Now, they didn't only use one technique. They used the outright military attack, right? So you have to understand what Cortez was doing when he was slaughtering motherfuckers looking for Cordoba.
Cordoba, and that was one of our leaders.
Cordoba was the city of gold.
City, okay. Cordoba was the city of gold.
Okay,
And
now.
Cordoba was in the, like on this land right here that we in right now.
It was the city it was the Atlantean city that flew away.
Okay.
They call it the Crystal City in the Bible.
Okay, Crystal City. Crystal City. And then one more joint, like you said, it's a voodoo game. And if you're not, you need to be tapped into that. So can you like, because I don't really know how to, with the researching thing, it's hard to really research stuff because I don't really know what is real and what's not.
Listen.
Go ahead.
The voodoo game that they was playing, Conjure War, is high magic. Because I know high magic, I can see it when it's being done.
Okay.
I know that they told us that voodoo was evil, wicked, and we should stay away from it.
Right.
But I also know that we was doing voodoo thousands of years before they brought a Bible.
Facts.
Now, I also know that when they brought their Bible was when they decided that voodoo was something they didn't want us to know. When I studied voodoo, I found that voodoo is the application of the laws of nature to manifest your best life.
Okay.
Right?
And voodoo,
that's the purpose of it.
Uh-huh.
Now, people became selfish and started using something called low magic. Low magic is using base elemental magic to control other people. Right?
Right.
So they was taking low magic and they was using low magic on a mass scale.
That's basically right. like cold lockdown. Low magic.
Yep. Okay, now, while the people are being victimized by the low magic, they doing something to keep the higher ranking of the people in a narcotic state. It's called bloodletting rituals.
Bloodletting rituals.
Right. Because angels in human form don't like the smell of blood, and the adrenaline from adrenochrome makes them senselessly angry.
Okay.
And they'll just start tearing up shit.
All right.
But the bloodletting ritual keeps them narcotized. Kingu, that's exactly the spell called Kingu. The Nuwabians identified the name of it.
Okay.
Okay, so once you start using voodoo, the spell can't work on you. Because you're finding balance with yourself as the first frame of reference. And as soon as one of us balance out to the laws of nature, perfect, she using us. Ain't no question about it.
Right.
I've been waiting on one of y'all.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So now